Motion Peeps, and welcome to this month's edition of the Motion Pick Show. November has brought us a wealth of cinematic surprises. As always is the case, though, some surprises were more pleasant and surprising than others. This was my November. Now there are good tearjerkers, and then there are manipulative schemes intent on preying upon the wallets of the willingly emotional. If you're looking for a well-made tear duct cleanser with substance, however, look no further than Direction France's The Light Between Oceans. It's a beautifully photographed piece of cinema about a married couple dealing with the consequences of emotion-based decisions and the heartbreak that ensues. With intimate performances by the leads and a moving musical score by ALEXANDRE DESPLAT, it might not be the most joyful theatre-going experience. In my book, it was still sensational. Sorry to disappoint you, but this is not a documentary about possums. It is, however, about the breakdown of relationships and the extent to which people are able to forgive others. Amy Adams plays our wealthy and successful protagonist, who decides to spend her weekend reading the manuscript for a novel, written and mysteriously gifted by her estranged ex-husband. With subtle symbolic references to their past, the story plays out as a dark thriller, which we the audience see as a film within a film. It is between chapters that we are given a glimpse into their failed relationship. Wanting to more conservative viewers like myself, the film opens with a potentially shock-inducing title sequence which might have you wondering. Overall though, it was still my cup of tea. If you've seen my full review for Arrival, you already know my thoughts. The short version, Arrival is the most logical, most inventive, most thought-provoking alien film since maybe ever? I stand by my claim that it's still my favourite film of the year so far, and it warrants my highest rating. Arrival is a masterpiece. Kevin James. He cops too much flack. I mean, Paul Blart Mall Cop wasn't actually atrocious. To be honest, I don't have an issue with simple Friday night mediocrity. And that's all true Memoirs of an International Assassin really is. It has a simple and fun premise which stretches the limits of credibility as soon as you stop to think about it. James and his co-stars might not be compelling, but they manage to be likeable. The action filmmaking on display is competent with a few mildly impressive stunts, yet there's nothing you haven't seen before. It's effectively shrug-worthy entertainment. It's pleasant but weak. Magical costume change. For her screenwriting debut, J.K. Rowling takes us back to the wizarding world. This time, however, we don't have a book to compare it to. Eddie Redmayne plays a young magical version of David Attenborough named Newt Scamander. He takes us on a hunt through a beautifully recreated 1920s New York, searching for the mischievous escapees of his portable magical zoo. It's easy to fall in love with this world all over again, albeit in a different era. I was thoroughly entertained by the shenanigans, happily invested in these new characters, and increasingly intrigued by the film's darker and more mysterious aspects. For me, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was sensational, and I'm eagerly awaiting the series' future. Trolls is technically a December release, but I saw it in November and I feel somewhat compelled to talk about it. I went into this vibrant, colourful pop song of a film with fairly low expectations. Expectations which were thankfully surpassed by a rather creatively hyperactive fuzz-textured dose of saccharin. Polar opposites Princess Poppy and Branch, voiced by Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake respectively, are on a quest to save their kin from the salivating palates of Borgans, who are creatures whose pursuit for happiness leads them to the consumption of trolls. The film managed to both fuel my fun-loving spirit and satiate my darker sense of humour. Plus, it packs a timely message about the dangers of consumerism. Does it use song and dance as a deus ex machina? Of course it does. I guess it must be a bit of a guilty pleasure though, because Trolls was my cup of tea. And that marks the end of today's show. Overall, not a bad month with a few dead set winners. December, bring it on. As always, see you next time, Motion Peeps.